Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for August 25th, 2017. With your hosts, Spaceworker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
The dumb things we have to talk about this week.
Hmm.
And one of them I forgot to include from when I initially looked at stuff, because I think it came up after I did articles last night.
That's very possible.
Because it's a Sonic Forces one, and is the reason for the title this week.
I'm glad you mentioned Sonic Forces, because I may have realized the reason why everyone's seeing a connection between Mania and Forces, and I saw it too, and I thought, oh no, do not do that.
It doesn't involve Infinite in the gem from Sonic Mania.
Believe it or not, no. It has to do with the line that Eggman says to Classic Sonic, suggesting that it is the Classic Sonic from Mania. And it's like, no, please no.
I think I might have heard this line. What's the line exactly?
I don't remember exact word for word kind of deal, but it was basically along the lines of it didn't matter what timeline he came from, he wasn't going to stop him.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, no.
Well, there's a dumber theory I saw that said that Infinite is essentially Mania Sonic corrupted by the Infinite Gem, or the Time Gem.
I don't believe that. No, too angsty. Now, if someone was saying it was that version's Shadow, maybe.
But Shadow doesn't exist yet.
I know. That's why I said maybe. Because I would at least give them the benefit of the question there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, all we know is Mania takes place after 3. We don't know where exactly.
3 and Knuckles, mind you.
Well,
what
are you going to play? Sonic 3 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Well, the elevator says 3 and K, so...
I say again. Are you going to play 3 or 3 and Knuckles?
I swear I thought something... There was a time given, but I think it's in the manual. If it is. Because that's where all the information on the hard-boiled heavies comes from, is the manual. Because yes, Sonic Mania does have a manual. You know, something we've been missing from a lot of modern games these days, because... Why? Well, before we get into the articles properly, then, what have you been playing these past couple weeks?
Well, most recently, Sonic Mania.
How is the new...
Most recently, I picked it up yesterday.
How is the 2E hog?
I'm finding that I suck with Sonic, but I'm apparently really good with Tails.
Isn't Tails supposed to be the easiest character of the 3?
Supposed to be and is, I think, are two different things, because it feels like they've kind of planned for that. Which is kind of weird. Obviously, the thing that, if you've paid attention to my Twitter, you know about. Metroid Prime.
Yeah. I dropped in really quickly on your Sunday stream after SummerSlam was done.
I swear, it's like the cookie decided, you know what, you want to play this, so you're gonna play it now. Because that was completely unintentional. I figured, okay, I'm going to add it since I planned on doing them on the emulator anyhow. Well, the first thing that comes up. Now bear in mind, I added both the Metroid Prime and Echoes. But Prime was the one that came up. I'm like, well, okay, this will work too. Wasn't intending that to be the first one. I was kind of hoping that would wait a little bit. Because, we don't have any information on 4.
Yeah. We have a title.
Yeah.
Art.
That don't help much.
Nope.
And I'm wondering too. Okay, we got the title Metroid Prime 4, correct?
Yes.
What was the naming scheme that existed with all of them except for the first one?
2 plus a number plus a subtitle.
Yeah. We got no subtitle.
Did it also say working title?
I don't think it did. They might have said that it was, but there was nothing explicitly in the trailer that said that.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
What?
Okay. Playing Mania in the background. I found a bug. Like one that you wouldn't have already heard about, kind of deal.
Oh.
Because that was what took me by surprise there. It's like, okay, I know there's certain bugs. I hit the Mean Bean Machine one. First try. First try. You know how easy that is to hit that one?
I assume pretty easy.
All you have to do is hold right when you're going through the pipe. It automatically soft locks you. You can finish the Mean Bean game there, and then you're soft locked.
And then you got to play Mean Bean Machine all over again.
Oh, it would be fine if it was just that and you didn't have to redo the entire level. But no, the one I just found out, Mirage Saloon Act 1, the train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've probably seen the same stuff that I have about you can bug stuff around the train. Well, apparently you can trap yourself off screen too. I was on the plane.
Well then.
I went too far to the right. It said dead. No checkpoints. Gotta love new games.
Yep.
One of those, if that was a bug that I would have knew about, that would have been one thing. But nope.
Yeah, I know they're working on a few of those bugs, especially the Mean Bean one, since that's so easy to trigger.
That one is the major one that needs to be addressed. Because it can unintentionally be triggered. Plus, if you haven't played the game before, you don't really know where that pipe is. Because Chemical Plant Act 2 is essentially a new level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those that's like, yeah, if you don't know where you need to be stopping your movements, then you're going to be screwed.
So I have to ask, since Ty brought up how bosses aren't the best in this Sonic game. What do you think of the bosses?
I don't know. There's a lot of forgettable ones. There's a lot of annoying ones too, like the one that I'm fighting right now.
Is it the octopus?
No,
Oh.
no. And I really hate this one. Because,
Is it?
you know, plane combat is not fun.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Watching footage of that one, it looks like a kind of a bad boss. Because of just simply perspective, really.
Well, it's not so much perspective, it's that, you kind of have to be aware of the fact that there could be bugs on the plane that you don't know about. So you don't want to overshoot yourself, but at the same time, you have to be a little bit mobile to actually hit the boss, too. Oh, great. Just what I needed. Tails to start flying for no reason.
Whee!
That was input problems there. Hit the button one too many times. But yeah, it's kind of not so much the perspective as it is the whole, plane combat's never been good, and then to have a boss utilizing that,
yeah, and it's
compounding the problems.
Yeah, and was it a big boss with a very small hitbox essentially compared to his size?
Yeah, because the whole boss can hit you, but you can only hit the head of the boss. So, kind of unfair.
Yeah, Freedom Planet doesn't make the mistake of ever giving you a boss. I think actually all the bosses in Freedom Planet are pretty good. Because, as Ty put it, that was the best Sonic game we had in quite some time. At least in the 2D realm.
To be fair.
was Freedom Planet, which, I'll be honest, it's really good. I have a copy of it on PC, and it's really good.
I do know one thing, though. The Metal Sonic boss fight could use a little more explanation.
Yeah, because I've seen like 2 different ways to get through that boss, essentially.
Well, it's a case of the game doesn't really do a good job of reflecting what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because the initial part where you're running from him, essentially, it feels like you should be able to hit him, but you can't. He's in the background until he hits you. So, needless to say, the first time I kind of lost out to that. Like, that was really what it boiled down to. I did get to the part where you could hit him, but by that point I was so low on rings that it was a matter of time. And oh my god, I hate this boss right now. But then, to compound the problems there, the phase where you could hit him, it's not clear on how you hit him until you luck up and do it.
Yeah, and you can do it 2 different ways from when I've seen it, because one way is to spin out into them when they attempt to spin out into you, and you can bounce them into Metal Sonic. The other is to
catch them essentially on the bounce.
Yeah, it's essentially bounce them around.
Oh my god, this boss sucks.
And to be honest, I feel like your first instinct in there is to see a minion show up and like, oh, bounce on it, kill it, get rid of it.
Exactly. That's what I kept doing until I realized that it was doing nothing, and I'm like, wait a minute. So then what? And then I hit one bounced it off the invisible wall, and it hit Metal Sonic, and I'm like, oh, well, this boss sucks. Because you know how hard it is to play pinball? When the ball can move on its own?
Yeah, not very good.
Oh
Yeah, and
my
also,
god, this boss. The
okay, I'm not
hitbox is so stupid.
also like the final boss. I'm not sure I understand the entire mechanic of it. I understand how you beat it, but I'm not sure about the other parts of it that you get dropped into.
Hmm.
Where you're essentially like refighting for the 5 hard-boiled robots, because you're not required to beat them to beat Robotnik. So I don't understand why you keep getting dropped into those if they're not affecting the boss in any way.
Okay, I'm gonna chalk that boss fight up to RNG. He literally just did one set of movements.
Hmm.
He quit doing the whole moving on the Z-axis and decided he was gonna move on the same axis that I could move on. So I'm like, okay. Don't know what I did to cause that one, but okay.
Yeah, and this
But
is where, as an engineer, I would correct you, be like, the Z-axis is not depth. No, Y is depth, Z is up and down. Because I don't know why. Physics classes, we have the 3D stuff, the 3D graph as X and Y. Essentially, the XY plane is the flat plane that you're looking down on, and the Z plane is coming up at you when you're looking down at it. So Z is up and down, and X and Y are forward, back, and left and right, respectively. However you're looking at it, it's dumb considering how I always thought the Z-axis was, and how the Z-axis was always taught to me before I got to the super fancy college. But whatever, sure.
oh well.
But I'm interested in Sonic Mania. At the very least, even if Sonic Forces sucks, we have one good Sonic game.
What's bad is that whole, them trying to pile them together as hard as they are, because that's developer in there. I mean, I was saying this before we started, but there's a line that you can find that Eggman says to Classic Sonic that really kind of points towards the games are connected. And I don't mean the whole this Sonic knows about Eggman connected. I mean no, the Sonic in Mania is the classic Sonic.
Yeah.
I really don't like them connecting them like that, because we've got a good Sonic game. They don't need to screw it up.
Yeah. A Sonic game made by fans, mind you. But I also found out that there's another connection between Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. And it is once more back to the first trailer for Sonic Forces, I think. Essentially, it's the one where Infinite shows up at the end. Apparently, at the end of the trailer, you know that whoop whoop sound effect that gets played whenever you time travel in Sonic Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's played in the trailer.
Okay, but sound effects getting reused is not a bad thing.
Well, it's the full sound effect from Sonic Mania. Like, the whole thing. Which makes it a bit more suspicious, but doesn't one of the other Sonics have time travel in it? So is that sound effect not reused from there to start with?
Maybe not the exact one. And I mean, if we want to get technical, then how many games has Shadow been in? Technically, Chaos Control is time travel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, like the sound effect could be from like Sonic CD to start with, because isn't that the one with time travel in it to start with?
That I don't know.
Because I think there's time travel in CD, and that might be a sound effect reused from CD to start with. So that might just be more of, oh, you're hinting at this guy having time travel nonsense associated with him. Well, duh, he has Chaos standing next to him, and not good guy Shadow, I assume. And the one guy from the Wii U game we don't talk about, but it's still pretty good apparently. And
Was Lost World Wii U?
Yes.
For some reason, I was thinking it was before the Wii U. I thought
Nope, it's
Boom
Wii
was
U.
the Wii U one.
Boom is Wii U, but I think Lost World is also Wii U. I'm double checking real quick. Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I just thought about it. It's Colors that is the Wii one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Colors in both of the Fairy Tale Sonic games.
Yeah, it was Colors that was the Wii one.
Just ignoring the the Fairy Tale ones. We don't talk about those ones.
Well, I mean, we can talk about Black Knight.
We just don't.
We don't talk
Seven.
about Rings.
Yeah.
Rings can die. I think that's the general consensus.
Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot this level was in this game.
The
Old Ocean.
Yeah, that might have the worst
level.
boss.
I hate this level. I always have.
Because I think it's I want to say it's unanimous at this point. The octopus is probably the worst boss in the game.
I believe it.
Especially when it's a boss that is bugged. That can't kill you when he's not supposed to kill you.
I'm wanting to say the boss for Oil Ocean was garbage originally too. So it would not surprise me.
Well, anything else besides Sonic Mania?
And Metroid Prime.
And Metroid Prime. Forgot about that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
I've played ARMS and played some more Splatoon 2. But, I mean, outside of that, not really.
I've only really played one thing, and it's made me realize something about the newer games of this little franchise. Well, side franchise. Because I have a copy of Paper Mario I got from Club Nintendo before it shut down. So I picked back up my save on there, and I realized something. And a video was dead on when it said it. Where the hell is all of the variety of character, like just other things that aren't standard classic Mario in the Paper Mario games in the newer ones? Like, have you noticed that there's only the one Toad repeated over and over and over again?
Well, there is only one Toad.
I can boot up Paper Mario and walk around Toad Town, and I can guarantee you I will not find that our standard Toad that often, if at all, except maybe twice. I mean, hell, I found out that Mario and Rabbids in like the first couple hours of that game, they acknowledge that Toadette exists. You know, the female Toad from the Mario Party games, that one that only ever shows up for Mario Party, and I think Mario Kart. Yeah, she's in the game. So, yeah, it's not just that; it's just like a lot of like different enemies and non-standard like Mario enemies that were unique to Paper Mario and introduced by Paper Mario just aren't there. And it's like, wow. Like you are not really using Paper Mario at all to its fullest extent for these newer games. Like I know people like Color Splash, but I'm like, it's still a lot of standard Mario. Hell, the standard story is still Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach. And I think on this one on accident.
But, I mean, if you really think about it, as a whole, really, what's the big Paper Mario games?
Well, that and Thousand Year Door, I feel like. And
and really, if you look at it, that's kind of the only two that have RPG elements.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rest of it kind of forgets their RPGs.
Yeah, Super Mario is completely not an RPG. It's more of a standard Paper Mario game with RPG-esque elements. Paper Star and Color Splash try to go back to that, but they introduce a card battle system that I'm going to be honest, I don't care for, especially after playing Chain of Memories myself.
I was going to say, it's almost like they took from someone else's playbook.
Yeah. Like, I don't care for a card battle system. It doesn't, like, skimming through, like, dozens and dozens and dozens of cards at once to try to find the one or two things you need in order to battle. And, oh, look, I need, like, so many cards to beat a boss. And, well, I'm out of cards. And I think you get a lucky draw system to refill your cards or get random cards, but still. You also have only so much paint, and you need to paint cards to make them better. In Color Splash, at least. Like, what was so bad about the standard RPG mechanic that was in the first two Paper Mario games?
Everything. It all had to go.
Well, even, like, I realized with having to swap out the one slot I had for party members, I'm just like, wow, this is more combat variety than I've seen in Color Splash, because I'm having to actively switch out party members on the fly in order to account for different types of enemies in the same area. Because it's like, all right, I have a couple flying enemies. Well, the only people who can really hit that is Paracupa in Goombario. The others can't hit him. So I have to swap to them. But if they're on the ground but they have like a spike on their head, well, I can't use Paracupa. I have to use Paracupa or Goombario. I have to use Bombette or Cooper or shit. I forget the ghost name that I just picked up. I can't remember her name. But her. Like, you have to use different party members for different situations, and they have different abilities, and they have their own characters. And the only companions you get in those games is the one companion, and that's it. The whole game. And that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look, they've kind of pushed it that way.
Mm-hmm. Looking at it, I kind of miss that variety. Hell, Bowser isn't even the same kind of character that he is in those Paper Mario games than he's in the early ones. Because as shown there, Bowser's kind of snarky and like very talkative. He's not very talkative in Color Splash. Hell, he doesn't have lines until the end of the goddamn game. I think that kind of goes back to Legend of the Seven Stars, where Bowser isn't that bad of a guy, and when a bigger enemy comes around, he is totally willing to team up with Mario to be like, hey, you, me, beat him, because nobody gets to be the bad guy around here except me, damn it. Because I kind of like that characterization of Bowser, where it's like, hey, Mushroom Kingdom is my territory to try to rule and conquer and do bad stuff in. This is not your territory. You can get the hell out. And if I can't do it, I'm going to team up with the guy who kicks my ass all the time in order to beat you.
Because that always works.
Yep. But I've seen a little bit of Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle because the first couple of hours are out there. I guess from a preview that a lot of YouTubers and streamers have gotten a hold of. Or we got to take a look at. Do it?
Probably.
No. You are stuck with Mario, Rabbid Peach, and Rabbid Luigi off the bat. And it's just like...
I guess it could be worse.
Well, the entire situation is the Rabbid's fault to begin with.
Well, that's kind of common.
Because you want to know what the plot setup for this is?
What?
All right, so this really smart girl who created this really fancy headset that merges two things together. That headset is taken by Rabbids when they use a washing machine time machine to somehow get into her basement and then start mucking with crap, as Rabbids do, apparently. One of them gets ahead of the headset and essentially causes shenanigans to happen that eventually suck all of the Rabbids and a whole bunch of crap from the basement into Mario's world, where Mario, Luigi, and Peach and the rest of the kingdom are just happily like celebrating this new statue of Princess Peach that's been built. And then shit hits the fan. And then all of a sudden, fucking crazy rabbits and corrupted rabbits and all sorts of other stuff going on. And Mario's just like, well, guess I gotta go be the hero.
Again.
And he's just, and he's just real accepting of everything. And the rabbits are the rabbits. Also, you meet up with Preach gets sucked into this big old vortex thing that I guess is bad. Well, apparently it wasn't really that bad of a thing because she's just back at her castle. And you just go meet up with her. She's like, "Hi, the rabbits have been busy building shit around here. I don't know what I only know like the two things they've already built. I don't know what's going on." And Rabbid Peach is very judgmental of her clothing because again, can I only play as Mario until I get the rest of the Mario characters? Because I don't care about these rabbit characters. Like, this game looks good. I hate that it looks good and it is attached to fucking rabbits, because I hate the rabbits. They're just bad. I don't like them. And I don't want to play as them. That's really the only thing I've been able to play. Tomorrow I get to spend part of the day taking a 2-hour drive up to the college to move in, and Sunday is buying books, setting up housing for the next year, because I can do that at the start of this year because it's what the email says. And essentially getting ready to go, well, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have 3 classes, and Tuesday, Thursday, I have 1 class, so... Oh, boy. And it's 8 o'clock in the morning for me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for classes. You know, I don't mind 8 o'clock classes, but 8 o'clock class plus pretty much going back to back on my classes to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, that's going to be draining. Luckily, my Tuesday, Thursday is like 11 to 2. And I'll be done fairly early, or like fairly early in the day at that point. The only sucks thing is that's a 4-hour lecture and probably a 4-hour lab. So, the wonders of college, folks. I bear in mind as well, I didn't pick this schedule. This schedule was picked for me because these are the only times that these 4 classes are offered to me. So, I'm stuck with the schedule. Well, ready to get started in articles?
I guess so.
All right. Well, you know how Square Enix is putting a lot of focus on Final Fantasy 15 as of late?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, have you ever wanted to play Final Fantasy 15 and go, darn, I don't have a PlayStation 4?
No.
Oh, well, I was about to say, do not fret, because Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is coming to iOS, Android, and Windows 10 devices. And yes, this is the full Final Fantasy 15 experience in a episodic 10-episode format in this kind of garbage-looking style. And you want to know how accurate this is?
How?
If you look at the trailer, that is a shot-for-shot recreation of the first couple of cutscenes in the whole goddamn game. I'm not kidding. As someone who's actually played the first 40 or so minutes of Final Fantasy 15, yeah, that's a shot-for-shot remake of 15. Good lord, their mouths don't even fucking move. Hell, I think that's even the same goddamn audio from the game. Like, I'm not sure what to say. What do you think?
I don't even.
Well, the first episode is free, but the other 9 episodes you gotta pay for.
And the other 9 episodes are probably $5 an episode.
Yep. And there's touch controls.
Well, that's almost as bad as motion controls.
Why is 15 getting stretched out this goddamn much? Like, we're not even done putting out
Really?
DLC for 15.
Wait a minute, really?
What?
Why is 15 getting stretched out this far? This is the same company, mind you, that stretched 13 out for 3 games.
And 2 spin-offs, one of which became this game.
And you're wondering why they're stretching 15 out this far.
But I'm going to point out that I was listening to Game Informer's podcast. I really should listen to their podcast more because they have really good talks on video games. They talked about how Tadaba, the director of the game, said they weren't going to do this.
But Square said they were.
But they didn't. They said they weren't going to do this. And then they did. I think they said they weren't going to do a sequel, which at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, fuck it, they're going to do a sequel.
I mean, they're not doing a sequel, so I guess they didn't lie.
But how many times are we going to need 15 over and over and over and over and over again?
As many as it takes.
Well, there's a little good news out of all of this 15 nonsense that, by the way, extends to Assassin's Creed Origins because they're doing a crossover with that one.
Yay, I guess.
Well, Final Fantasy 15 is getting a PC port. And best of all, it will support mods.
Okay. To this I say, has Square met the PC community?
Hey, they
It
have come
don't
out.
matter if it will support mods or not. It will support mods.
Oh. I was about to say, I thought you were taking that a different direction because they said that they have trust in the community to not make new mods for the game. That's not going to last long. I can almost guarantee it. Well, I think by the time the PC version of 15 comes out, at least all the DLC will be out. So you'll get a complete edition of 15.
All I can say is on the PC, they better hope that they release 15 as like a complete edition. Because if they decide to try to do DLC on a PC version of 15, do you not know what that's fixing to do?
Make us not care.
DLC? I thought you said it was free. This mod does it.
Yeah, this mod gives me all the DLC content in this game that you charge me for again. I should really go back and try to play 15 since it's one of only like 2 Final Fantasy games I own.
And probably the only... Well, no. No, you say one of 2. You own more than 2.
Right, I own 3.
Yeah.
Because I own 13 too.
Hey, that was your brilliant idea.
I know! And I went on to prove that it's like, yeah, all of those wondering, like, should I know anything about 13 to go into this? Fuck no. No. No, because it won't matter. You'll be confused no matter what.
Well, I mean, it don't matter anyhow. Because you can read it. And it's more enjoyable to read it than it is to play it. I'll say that.
And it's more coherent, too.
Yeah. Yep. I have to agree. Completely.
And then you go into 13-2, and it's all time travel shenanigans, and it's fucking garbage that keeps going downhill.
Basically, the gist that I understand from the 13 games is just play 13-3. Because time travel invalidates the other 2 games.
Yeah. Time travel just makes things worse. Literally, time travel causes the end of the world. Mainly because of one asshole who is bullshit. He is bullshit incarnate.
Man, if you hadn't said he, I would have had to piped off who? Lightning?
Nope. It's the bad guy from 13-2.
So, person I don't care about in game I don't care about.
Yes.
Doing things that I don't care about.
Mm.
Sorry, I tried on that last one. Just wasn't happening.
Well, we have better things to talk about. I'm going to put that in quotations considering how much we actually have to fucking talk about. Did you know that Ultra Sun and Moon got news these past couple weeks?
I don't really care. I'm kind of there with Ultra Sun and Moon because they haven't gave me a reason to care.
But we have a new Linrock.
They haven't given me a reason to care.
But look at this map. Look at that Ultra Portal. That is literally the only distinctive difference on this map that you can see without zooming in. Because
Still trying to figure out if I care.
But we get new Z moves. The final evolution of the dragon one has a Z move now. Meaning we get new Z moves. And you meet Ryuki in a place that kind of looks like Lieutenant Surge's gym. And the other Elite Four lady, the bird one, she teaches you a Z move in the game. And you meet the starters in a different place. Yeah, this is nothing.
Yep.
I am stretching what the fuck we have to talk about because there is nothing here worthwhile. We have a new Linrock called Dusk Form. That is this weird in between the midday form and the midnight form that has both of its moves, and I guess is the best version of the three. Okay. We have new Z moves. Z moves. The only one we know at the moment is the Kamo of one, and we've got a map that has an Ultra Portal, and you know all of those empty lots that are in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're filled in, and one of them is a new photo-taking area where you can take photos with you and your Pokemon.
Yay, I guess?
Look, Game Freak was really proud of it. Really proud of this.
You know what I would be really proud of? Something that actually added to the game?
Like, story?
Or anything?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, we've got nothing, which is hilarious to think about because this game comes out and of course there's not a release date listed on the article.
Never.
God damn it.
There's release dates? What are those?
I was about to say, this game comes out in like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
No. 3 months. It comes out in November. So, okay. This game comes out in 3 months.
We know nothing about it.
Didn't we know a lot more about Sun and Moon 3 months from release?
Yep.
Like, a lot more. Like, didn't I have a running joke on the show called the Lola Forecast, where we kept getting news on Sun and Moon every 2 weeks for like 3 months in a row?
Yep.
And we know literally nothing about this game. Like, we know it's an alternate timeline of events. It's an alternate take on the Sun and Moon story. And there's this big giant Ultra Portal over Pony Island, I think is that one? The 4th island?
Yeah, that would be the 4th.
And there's hints of the secrets of Necrozma, who wasn't really that big of a thing in Sun and Moon to start with, so okay. And we have these hybrid forms of Soglio and Lunala with Necrozma that get us nowhere because that's not new. Black 2 and White 2 did the exact same thing with Curium. The only difference is it buffed Curium instead of buffing the 2 legendaries. And like, you got to give us something. Like, an alternate story for a 3rd game or a chain story for a 3rd game is not that surprisingly new. All of them are different in some capacity in terms of a story. All of them. You gotta give us something, Game Freak and Nintendo. Please.
But you've got something. It's called Pokemon Go.
Yeah, they're supposed to have third gen Pokemon when?
Soon.
There's not even any real data in that for them in the game yet.
So soon.
Less soon than the fucking Gen 2 leak was. At least I assume. I'm starting to think that like when Ultra Sun and Moon come out, I'll be watching someone play through this game and seeing what the difference is, but I am not picking this game up. Especially when there are going to be so many other games to play come this holiday season for me.
Well, do you have a new 3DS anyhow?
No.
Well, then you wouldn't be able to play it anyhow. Because you forgot about that limitation, didn't you?
Yeah, Sun and Moon has here's the thing. Like, there are problems with Sun and Moon on an old 3DS, but they were mainly battle related.
Yeah, and Ultra Sun and Moon, they've already stated is going to be only on the new 3DS.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of the first things that we got.
Well, apparently we've all overlooked that because that's the first time I've heard that.
If I'm not mistaken,
Jesus.
That was what we had on the original article.
Oh. Well, I must have forgot that because, yeah, that immediately kills all my interest in the game because I am not getting a brand new 3DS for one fucking game.
Especially not this late in the life cycle. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, let me play some 3DS games on a Switch maybe, but yeah, no. Nah.
Honestly, I'm surprised they aren't wanting to even consider it.
Maybe it's a logistics problem.
If it is, it's Nintendo's fault. How can you sell something when you can't keep it in stock?
It's simple. It's the Super NES Classic.
It's the NES Classic. Oh wait, they discontinued that. That's right.
Did you hear about the thing for Star Fox 2 in that?
The what?
Did you hear about the thing involving Star Fox 2 on the SNES Classic?
Nope.
You have to beat the first level of the original Star Fox in order to play Star Fox 2.
So... Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the only game that has a condition like that on it.
That's so stupid.
So you can't even play Star Fox 2 out of the box. Now you gotta go into Star Fox 1, you gotta beat the first level, then you can beat the brand new, the entire reason you probably bought the damn box to begin with, game. Someone better rip that shit off there and put it on the internet because...
You know what's going to be bad?
What?
We probably already have Star Fox 2. You know how you can download the not complete one?
Yeah.
Why do I have a feeling that's what that is?
I assume it's a more complete version of it.
Well, seeing as how people compared the ROMs on the NES Classic to ROMs you can download on the internet, and they matched, that makes you wonder.
Well, I found out an interesting detail about Breath of the Wild.
I saw that in the article list, and I believe I've already looked at that.
Did you?
Personally.
Oh, okay. I thought for the show?
No.
Okay.
I'm wanting to say that that was something that I saw and I was like, I'll have to remember that for TGS, and then I still forgot. But luckily you had it.
Yeah, because I've seen it multiple times now, and I was just like, this is a weird localization snafu that has completely different connotations depending on the side of the ocean you're on. What?
Professionalism at its finest. I switched to the right tab, went to click the X on the tab from the last article, and I missed the X and clicked the tab. At least I didn't jump ahead articles like I've done before.
Yep. Well, this weird translation error, I assume, that's what I assume this is. I'm not sure which end the error is on.
Before we go forward, apparently since Game Informer felt the need for a, 5-month-old game now to, no, 5.5-month game, let me rephrase that, to still have a spoiler warning, I guess we need one too. So.
Yes, where this localization snafu comes in is literally one of the last, 5 lines in the game. So, spoilers.
I don't even think I have the spoiler alert image on this layout. Probably should fix that.
So, spoilers. If you're
trying to buy time, don't worry.
Spoilers. I'm just going to keep going. I kept doing it as a joke.
Basically, when you don't see this article on the screen anymore, then you can look again.
Yes. Anyway, the line actually comes from Zelda, and reference to Calamity Ganon, or what's his final form's name? I don't remember what his final. It's big, bright ass neon Ganon. I don't remember what the name of it is.
I know it says beast form, but I can't think of. There's an actual name for it, and I'm like, blanking on it hard.
Yeah. But it's in reference to that form. Well, on the US side of things, aka the English side of things, Zelda says the following line: he has given up Ron reincarnation and assumed his pure enraged form. But if you look at the Japanese script of things, it's the complete opposite. This form was born from his obsession or obsessive refusal to give up on revival. So either Ganon has said, fuck it, I'm going to kill you now, reincarnation be damned, or fuck you, I will live forever, and I'm going to try to kill you now, but it doesn't matter, because I'll kill you again. I'll try again, at another time, at another place.
So it's either one of those that he's pissed, or he's just gonna keep refusing death kind of deal?
He's pissed either way. It's whether or not he's going to come back for another game is the question.
Okay. And to this I'm gonna say, ignore the dialogue even. Who's the main... Really, you could say 4 at this point. People that are in most Zelda games. 3 guaranteed, but 4 is kind of on that verge.
Well, Link, Zelda,
and Ganon.
And
Impa.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Impa's in at least
there's almost an incarnation of Impa in a lot of the games.
Yeah, a lot of the more realistic ones she's in. So, but half-ish.
No matter what, you've got the 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ganon will be back.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt to that. Now, whether it's Ganon is back of his own accord, or because of someone else, is a whole nother ball game.
It's a toss-up. It depends on whether we want to spice things up with a new villain.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a first.
Yeah.
So I could see either direction.
I assume the Japanese line is the correct line and the English line is the error. I assume.
That, or here's another thought. Perhaps when they tried translating the raw Japanese script, it looked really bad, so they tried to make the best out of what they had.
Well, there's also the other line, which I assume is from the English version of the game, that says, although Ganon is gone for now, there's still so much for us to do.
Yeah, that is the English one.
Yeah.
Because,
but in Japanese,
yeah, it says down below
mm-hmm.
that she says the threat of calamity is gone.
Yep. Which is just that Ganon, I assume, considering they kept saying Calamity Ganon. It's
looking
mindless.
At the game as a whole, I see why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes more sense as to why they gave him the title Calamity Ganon, because you do have the 4 Blight Ganons.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently that was the distinction between them.
Mm-hmm.
Still makes me wonder, though, if this is meant to be essentially a reboot, then that means all other storylines are technically voided. If this was supposed to be a way to merge the timelines back together, though, is there more than one Ganon? Because we know the Blights were all made from Calamity.
Mm-hmm.
So makes you wonder if there's more than one reason why he was given a name or not. And it could be why they haven't said whether or not this is part of the timeline at all.
Well, it's not the first time Ganon's been a different name, because he technically has another name in Skyward Sword. He's called Demise. But that's the start of the timeline to start with, so...
Right. So you can't really classify that one either.
Yeah, that Demise is...
If you wanted to get technical, even Ganondorf was a different name for him, because Ganon was always the beast form.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes you wonder, we never saw him in human form.
Yeah, he was always big old flying pig monster guy for like most of the game. That's how you went and fought him.
And it also looked like he might have been experimenting with some of the ancient technology.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So, I mean, we obviously know that Zelda has a different personality than she does in most games.
Yep. And I think she has the full Triforce. I think.
I don't think so. I don't think they went that far with it.
Well, I swear in one of the cutscenes, the full Triforce is on her hand. And I don't know what that means, considering...
It could be the way the glow was.
Yeah.
Because the lighting for that scene is kind of odd. But the way they've always done the Triforce was the 3 pieces had to be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why we had Link, Zelda, and Ganon.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, the Triforce I don't think is ever really mentioned in the game.
It's not.
Like, it's referenced visually sometimes, but it's never outright mentioned.
And what was different about this one than most other Zelda games?
Gameplay or
Link.
story?
Story side.
Okay, story side.
Link never had any part of the Triforce that was mentioned.
Yeah.
Calamity Ganon, who should have had part of the Triforce, never was mentioned that he had it.
Yeah, only Zelda only has the never really specified power of fuck. She has some kind of power. I think it gets named, but it never gets talked about.
Essentially, it's the goddess Helia's power kind of deal.
Okay.
So, and I'm wanting to say that one is something that we've seen before and is usually correlated to the wisdom part of it. But that is kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
The other two players that should have the other two pieces, nothing's ever said.
Yeah, only Link gets the Master Sword, and the first time he gets it is somewhere in between flashbacks. And they never talk about how he got it. They just say he got it, which I assume just meant, oh, he went to the Lost Woods and he went and pulled the sword.
We'll see. We've got that. We've also got this little bitty fact of, every other version of the Master Sword was always used to seal Ganon away. The power of the Triforce was what weakened Ganon.
Now it's kind of reversed.
So maybe. It could be underlying they have set up for a sequel and no one really has paid attention to it.
I would dig a direct sequel to this.
And I'll tell you right now, if they do that, that's going to cause the question of where does this fit in the timeline again? Because it's like, Because at this point, literally, the only thing that we could specify in terms of timeline is it has to be after Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
So that means anywhere.
Yeah. And honestly, at this point, I feel like the idea I proposed about the Legend of Zelda timeline is a way better way of handling it than the mess Nintendo created. Just go, okay, all games go back to Skyward Sword. You can go off with your own direct sequels or your own games that have direct continuations, but you have to go back to Skyward Sword. From there, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's as simple as that.
I feel like outside of Breath of the Wild, the timeline that floats around the internet is right on the money. Because everything feels like it could flow that way and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is throwing Breath of the Wild in there. It don't really fit anywhere.
Yeah, like, this is...
And that might be what's causing the issues, because if we're going back to the point where we just assume the only thing that Breath of the Wild has to go off of is the events of Skyward Sword, then how do we go from Ganon to Calamity Ganon? How does certain characteristics not exist anymore?
How do we have the introduction of fucking mechs and shit when that's never really been a thing in this franchise ever?
I mean, that's what's more leaning me towards the fact that this is supposed to be a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's so many references that is physically in game. You don't need amiibo, you don't need the DLC to find it.
Yeah.
And it's like, huh. There's so many mixed signals, it's pathetic.
Mm-hmm. I think the problem came in that, all right, we have this timeline that has these 3 branching timelines, but it's the anniversary of Legend of Zelda, so we have to make a game that references the history of Legend of Zelda. So we throw in all these little Easter eggs and references. Well, when your timeline is really based off this and that kind of information to start with, all of a sudden you've kind of mangled your own timeline. Because parts of the timeline were based off that kind of stuff. Just the little details.
Yep.
And when you have a game that is all about those little details, just referencing everything.
And we can take the Wind Waker side of things on its own. It's figured that the Ritos are evolutions of the Zoras. We have both species.
Mm-hmm.
The Koroks are from the Kokiri. We don't have Kokiri. They at least played that one smart. Okay. The references about the Great Sea that are in there. According to the Wind Waker timeline, that technically never happened. It never receded.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're kind of just tossing stuff and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
It's like there's a big dartboard with every different thing that has ever been in any Zelda game, and they just kind of threw darts and saw what stuck. That don't work.
Nope.
Especially when you have something like what we have here. Localization lines that are not really matching up.
Yeah, they give 2 completely different interpretations of the same line.
And all this wrapped around cutscenes that really aren't the best representation of what the items that are in play are supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it's not a case of, oh, well, of me saying, oh, well, the Master Sword sealed Ganon away in this one game, so that should be canon. No, that happens on multiple occasions in multiple games. That's one of those that's kind of a standard.
And then this game went and goes, yeah, the Master Sword is used to kick his ass. It doesn't seal him. No, it beats the shit out of him. It's Zelda's power that is the real power here. Like, the Master Sword and all the robots are support.
And it's like, on top of that, Zelda's power should come from the Triforce of Wisdom, meaning that the other 2 should also be in play, yet we have no references of any of it, even hers.
Yeah. The closest reference to the Triforce there are the monks in the shrines?
And that's only in the first 4.
Don't they all do it?
Uh-uh.
Huh. Wow.
Nope,
I thought they all
the first 4 on the Great Plateau.
Huh, I thought that depending on the monk, that was the type of challenge you had to go through.
Uh-uh.
Huh. Welp. Welp. That's even less of a.
It's like there's so much that they have ingrained from the beginning of this franchise that just no longer exists. And it makes you wonder why.
Maybe DLC Pack 2 will give us the information we need.
I doubt it, because that's supposed to be focused on the champions.
Well, then I don't know. Well, that's another thing that's new to this game, is the fact that there's more than one hero necessary.
But, okay, apparently not. I mean, they did kind of die.
Yeah, but you need them to control the big robots.
You don't. You can defeat Calamity without them.
But that's not the canon way you do it.
It's pretty canon. I mean, they've said countless times that you could go straight to Ganon. And
well,
as speedrunners have proven, you can.
Well, do you get the special extra cutscene if you do?
That's 100% bonus.
Anyway, we should probably move on, because we have
dumber news to talk about.
Yeah, that's about the best way to put it. KFC, ladies and gentlemen, which I believe is the second time we've talked about KFC on here in the last month. Because KFC, oh my god, it was. Oh
because the game bucket.
Game Box 2.0. Oh, with KFC as well. Yep. Well, apparently KFC's getting with the times, because they have a virtual reality escape room that they put their employees through to teach them how to make original recipe fried chicken.
And if you fail, you die. Interpret that as you will.
Quoting the article here, the simulation requires the players to get out of an escape room by demonstrating the 5-step cooking process used to make the Colonel's chicken. They have to inspect, rinse, bread, rake, and finally pressure fry the chicken. Through all of this, you'll be guided by the Colonel, or maybe haunted is the better term. Now, here's my dumb question, because I'm a wrestling fan. Is the Colonel played by Dolph Ziggler or Shawn Michaels? If not, I'm extremely disappointed. For those wondering what I'm talking about, just go YouTube search WWE KFC. Trust me, it will make about as much sense as what I've just described. Especially the Shawn Michaels one. So, why?
Reasons.
And then we have a full fucking playthrough from Eater. So we can actually see what the fuck this looks like. I am booting up this video to skim through, because I am honestly curious.
Oh boy.
I will describe this to you as soon as this ad's through. It is 8 minutes long.
You won't have to if it comes up.
Oh my god.
I said if it comes up.
Oh my god. Oh god, this is so fucking stupid.
Well, if it's of any consolation, it looks about as good a quality as any other.
Are you
VR
listening
game.
to this voice acting? Are you listening to the Colonel Sanders threaten you to never leave this room unless you do up the fucking chicken rat?
Not yet.
Are you seriously gonna rain chickens down? Oh no, you're just gonna drop them down in the bag. Oh my god. And then you... Oh my god, the end of this is you watching a fucking training video. One of those VHS training. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Oh my god. Well, I unfortunately have a better video for the next article. Don't even. Because, well, guess what Sonic Forces is pulling a little gameplay from?
What?
One of our favorite Sonic games that we've played on the YouTube.
You skipped one.
Did I skip one?
Yes, you did.
Oops.
You skipped one.
Damn it. I skipped a really important and good one. Okay, we have good news then, before we get to the Sonic Forces one. My bad.
And also, I saw that next thing.
I have a better video that...
Of that.
Yeah, I have a better video that apparently makes it look better than the 30-second clip in that article. Because that 30-second clip in the article makes me go, oh no. And then I skim through the video, and it looks way better.
It makes you go, oh no.
Yes. Literally makes me go, Knuckles, oh no. But then this other video makes me go, oh yes, this looks better. But the better article is, well, we have a release date for Half in Time. Not Half in Time, Hat in Time. Bleh. October 5th for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It'll finally be out. And we're going to have mod support on the PC version with official mods from Psychonauts, Freedom Planet, and Hyperlife Drifter, and other associated indies. But at launch, Hat in Time will support all the good stuff on PC with a full level editor, full script access, full Steam Workshop support. Add a hat, add 2 hats, add lots of hats, add new chapters, add new enemies, make a game inside a game, make a game inside a game that is inside a game, and everything else that does not cover those points. So, yeah, Hat in Time's come out. Yay! Hopefully it's better received than Ukulele.
I still want to play Ukulele, but it's not on the Switch. You know, the console that I would get it on.
Is it coming to the Switch?
Supposed to.
Oh.
Unless they decided to change that.
Right, bro. Well, I'm going to pick it up on PC because, hey, Freedom Planet mod? Sure, because I think that gives you a hat that lets you do Lilac's Dragon Rush, which sounds like fun. I'm not sure what the other two do. I only know about the Freedom Planet one. And I am all for indie games referencing other indie games because, damn it, we need an indie game crossover game. Like, somebody volunteer to do it.
We need an indie game crossover game.
Yes. Essentially, we need the Smash Brothers of the indie titles. Since, like, Shantae and Shovel Knight didn't get to be in Smash.
But Shovel Knight's and Ukulele?
Yes, but no one else is. That's the problem. Shovel Knight shows up in everyone else's game, but only so many times does someone else get to show up alongside him.
You know what we need?
What?
We need someone else to show up in Shovel Knight.
Well, the Battletoads are showing up in Shovel Knight when it comes to PC and Xbox One, I think.
Wait, it's not out on Xbox One?
I don't know. They showed a trailer that showed the Battletoads coming to it for a Windows 10 PC Games for Windows release. I think.
Oh, well then that's probably just the PC release then.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Battletoads. It's on Steam, so they might be releasing it for the Windows 10 store kind of deal.
I mean, like, Kratos is in Shovel Knight on the PlayStation side of things as a boss. Not Dad of War Kratos, no, original Kratos.
Hey, that works. That's at least one. It's pre-Dad of War.
So yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for Hat in Time to be out, and hopefully it's really good. We could use a good 3D platformer that shows that, hey, the Banjo-Kazooie games were pretty good. And here's a modern take on it. Well, now we can get to Sonic Forces into the video that makes this gameplay look better. But we can look at the gameplay first if you want.
I've actually seen it, so let's get the good gameplay one.
Okay.
Is it the second one, actually?
No. Actually, this one is on Twitter for me because Ty linked it. When he was talking about Sonic Forces. Because I thought this was it for the tag team gameplay, which, by the way, Sonic Forces is pulling a little bit from Sonic Heroes from the looks of this gameplay. And this 30-second clip doesn't give it the best look because it seems like it really slows down the gameplay. No. That's just a bad 30-second clip of this.
Yeah.
Ty Tuesday for the coming in for the save, essentially, on this one. So, you ready?
Hold on.
Well, I thank you for theory on Sonic Forces and Mania of who is infinite.
All right. I'm ready when you are.
All right, taking a look at the tag team gameplay here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it's the same guy I watched the different stages in. I do say I don't like the custom character stages as much. I've seen a 2D and a 3D version of it, and I just don't care for either one. I have actually seen this part of it. This looks good.
Little derp right there for no reason.
Like, this one looks good. The issue is the custom character stages. They really don't have enough ability to pull off a Sonic level. Is what it more boils down to. And I feel like that's a design problem. They created the custom stages as a Sonic stage, and the custom character just can't do that.
Yeah, the custom character is more gadget focused. Also, I have to admit, doing the high five into the super boost to whatever fucking song that was. Yeah, that's got me won over on this gameplay.
Gameplay wise, I feel like this will be fine. The issue will be, do we completely just crap all over ourselves with the story?
Well, it's a time traveling Sonic game, so take your pick. We've had a good one and a bad one.
The big question is, are we going to have another good one, or is this going to be another bad one?
Well, the bad one's 06, so...
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess at that point, if we have another bad one, then we might have another good speedrun game.
I'm sure Ty will be happy no matter what.
Yeah, because he has kind of turned into the Sankey boy.
Well, he said it's like, hey, good or bad, I'm going to enjoy this. Because it's either going to be really good. Well, it's either going to be really good or 06 bad.
It's yeah. I would love it if we had 2 really good Sonic games.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not holding my breath on it. The last time we had multiple Sonic games come out at the same time frame, we had Boom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I do want to just have this running in the background.
The remix of Metal Sonic?
No, the all stages one.
Oh.
Because there is a line in here, and I'll get the time code when it comes up. But it was what I mentioned to you.
Oh, that line.
Let me find it. Because we've seen the first 3D, well, the first modern Sonic level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a classic boss fight against Eggman, if I'm remembering the clip right.
Yes. Which classic Sonic stages are putting me in the mindset of Generations, so that's good that they left stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The boss battle starts at 6:52, it looks like. Do you have the video? It was over in the sidebar.
I do not. Let's pull it up. What was the time code?
6:52. And the all stages revealed one.
Alright, I'm good.
That's where the boss fight is. I guess we'll start it up in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, there is a couple of things I noticed here. One of them kind of points towards Mania and Forces being tied together. The other one's not. And right there's the one that's not.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been Classic Tails. He didn't get warped. So that's making me wonder.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and right there was the line.
Mm-hmm.
Pint-sized Sonic from another dimension.
Yep. Well, yeah, I hope it'll give you Generations Fields, because isn't this the really god-awful Generations boss we have to deal with?
I hate Dragoon.
Because I saw it, I'm like, you're that asshole boss. Fuck you. I hate that boss.
This boss fight's far easier, though.
Well, it's only in 2 dimensions. It's going to be easier.
Honestly, though, from the looks of it, this has to be like a very early level.
Mm-hmm. Well, isn't that like Green Hill Zone from the looks of it?
It looks like it. At least this game's rendition of it.
Mm-hmm. So that should be like your first boss, assumingly, as classic.
I'm wondering, though, because the video proceeds to transition us into an avatar stage in Green Hill Zone 2.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe? And I mean, I do like the fact that they're keeping the Mania vibe. I'm assuming the pyramid stage that we just saw for the duo is probably after this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of confusing here. We knew classic and modern Sonic were gonna be together.
Mm-hmm.
We knew about the Avatar stuff from the start. Really, we just didn't know details on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sold on the fact that we've got classic Sonic as Infinite. Like, I really can't be sold on that one.
You know what's going to be?
What?
Infinite's the gem. He's just the gem.
I could see that.
That's all. It's all he is it's just the gem. He's just like copying characteristics of Sonic just to be like, you can call me Infinite, but really I'm just that dumb gem you met in Sonic Mania.
And I could completely see the final boss fight being some kind of convoluted super form of Infinite versus the two Super Sonics and Super fill in the blank here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could completely see that.
Oh god. I just thought of something.
What?
Per Sonic tradition, your OC must have a super form.
Uh-huh.
God damn it.
Yeah. Like I said, super fill in the blank here.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah. Super fill in the blank here and the two Super Sankeys.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, it's
the stage that we just watched. So, yeah, we can cut that part out if we want to.
Mm-hmm. No, it's sad that Tails and Knuckles never really get to show off their super forms in the 3D games.
Well, I mean, they're not the main character.
But they get to show off their super forms in all the 2D games.
I'm surprised that's what you went with instead of, okay, Shadow isn't one of the main characters, yet he got to show his off.
Well, he's a hedgehog. He's discounted in this conversation. Because Silver got one as well. But I meant, like, Tails and Knuckles have always had a super form in the 2D games. Hell, Sonic Mania shows them off once more, but they never get to show them off in the 3D games ever. The closest we got is them in Gold, Orbs, and Heroes. even though that's not their super forms.
Well, I guess they figured having 3 gold characters that you're controlling would be a little bit confusing.
They do that in Sonic 06.
Yeah, but that was later down the line. Plus, they probably knew that was a bad game. To be broke like that, you can't tell me they didn't know some of that.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
About like what I was reading about Mass Effect Andromeda recently. Apparently, the game we got was really the build of the game that was made in like 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda has a really troubled development history that is well documented by Kotaku. They have a really good article that documents the whole development cycle on Andromeda. Yeah, if you don't like Andromeda, the problems you might have probably like or have their roots in the development issues that this game had. Because the build of the game we got, that was not the build of the game that's been made over the course of 5 years, which that's how long Andromeda was supposed to be in development. Yeah, because of a lot of changes that happened over time, it was only the last 18 months. Hell, No Man's Sky got brought up in the conversation when Mass Effect Andromeda was being developed. Because they were wanting to do something like No Man's Sky for the game. Hell, they came up with the same procedurally generated technology that No Man's Sky uses. But do you know the problem?
What?
You can't make an RPG with that kind of content. Because it's not as high quality. And you know what the other problem is?
What?
EA's favorite little engine, Frostbite. Because it's hard to develop for. It's... To use the analogy they did, the Frostbite engine is essentially an F1 race car when it comes to cars. It can go really fast, but that's about all it does.
Yeah, it can only go fast in straight lines.
Well, it can go fast in a circle or in like left and right turns on a road course, but like this ain't going off road. Or like what is the analogy for Unreal? It was either a 4-door sedan or like a little compact car. Like Unreal and Unity are far easier to develop for than Frostbite, especially since.
To be fair, though, that's kind of a little unfair to compare to because the whole purpose between both of those is for public use kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to kind of make it somewhat easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, as they also pointed out, with Frostbite, all of the dialogue and cutscenes and, all of that stuff, synonymous with Mass Effect in terms of RPG material. Yeah, they had to build all that from scratch because that's not in the box for Frostbite. Frostbite don't know how to do that stuff. You got to make it do that stuff. And it don't like to do that stuff. Again, Frostbite is hard to develop for, especially when you're doing something that Frostbite was never designed to do. Like, it can do vehicles, it can do gun combat, it kind of can't do slower things, like 2 people having a conversation, or dialogue stuff, or menus, or saving. I'm not kidding on that save game part. They had to build that shit from the ground up for Frostbite. Because Frostbite is not equipped to do that. Anyway, Anything else to talk about before we get to releases?
No.
Alrighty then. Releases! And we have a really good one off the bat on the PC and the things. So, on the 28th, we have Rock of Ages 2, Bigger and Bolder for PlayStation 4 and PC. And we have a Gamers Unknown Survival for PC. Gamers Unknown Survival. I wonder what kind of game this is. It can't possibly be a Battle Royale style game.
It definitely can't be a Plunkback clone.
Don't worry, it's not. It's just another survival game on PC. It's just named the same way.
Yep. You know why? Clickbait.
You get a golf clap, good sir. You get a golf clap. Coming out on the 29th, we have a crap ton of shit. Jesus Christ. And like I said, I trimmed PC releases. This is all mostly console stuff. We have Ark Survival Evolved for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. The full actual release of this game. We have Dead Alliance for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Killing Floor 2 for Xbox One. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Record Definitive Edition for Xbox One and PC. You know that one game that looked really cool, but it turned out to be not good? The quote, somebody who was watching the Microsoft reactions, or was doing Microsoft reactions to their Gamescom conference, which Microsoft needs to understand the concept of what a world premiere and a fucking exclusive is.
World premiere.
It's not a world premiere if you showed it 3 months ago at E3 with the exact same trailer.
World premiere.
And it's not an exclusive unless it's exclusive on one console and not one console and PC. That's not exclusive.
But it's exclusive if it's on the Xbox Play Anywhere.
Then it's an Xbox Play Anywhere game. That doesn't mean
but
it's
exclusive. But it's an exclusive. Because you can only play it on Xbox One and Windows 10. So it's an exclusive.
Still dumb.
I'm kind of making that point.
Anyway, we've got Red Out.
It's one of those stuff like that is like saying all web browsers are exclusive. Yes, they're exclusive to PCs. Macs, Linux. Yeah.
Anything.
Yep.
Well, moving on, we have Red Out for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Resident Evil Revelations for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Rock of Ages 2, Big and Bolder coming out a day later on Xbox One. XCOM 2, War of the Chosen for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC. You'll probably be seeing me stream a lot of that on the TGS Twitch account.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
Okay. You said Rock of Ages 2 is coming out a day later on Xbox One.
Yep.
So it's an exclusive. A day later, no one else has to realize that it already came out.
On a different console and on the PC.
It's an exclusive.
Well, we've also got Absolver for PlayStation 4, PC, Everybody's Golf for PlayStation 4, Abduction for PlayStation 4, Spark for PlayStation 4, Surf Warrior series, and the Metronomicon for PlayStation 4, Warriors All-Star for PlayStation 4 and PC, which is this weird crossover Muso game involving characters from completely different franchises. Like, this has Dynasty Warriors and Dead or Alive characters in it at least. Because I've seen one commercial for it. Windjammers for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Yakuza Kiwami for PlayStation 4, which is a remake of the first Yakuza game, I believe. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Switch. That game has no right to be as good as it is. And
Oh,
Cats.
it has all the right to be as good as it is.
I just want to have that game and just do an all Nintendo characters run. I don't care how long I have to put up with Rabbids. I will slowly phase them out. I don't care how much of a disadvantage it would be. I don't want to play as them.
But Rabbids.
But fuck Rabbids.
No, you don't want to do that.
Then finally we have Cat Sorter VR for PC. Yep. Just gonna sort some cats there.
Now you can sort all the bagels that you want to.
Yep. This is truly the marquee VR release this year. Truly, this is what will bring people to VR.
Yep.
Fucking Cat Sorter.
Yeah, because cats.
On the 30th, we have Feral Fury for Xbox One, Surf World Series for Xbox One and PC, the Metronomicon for Xbox One, and X-Morph Defense for Xbox One and PC. On the 31st, we have Life is Strange Before the Storm Episode 1 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Last Day of June for PlayStation 4 and PC. Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack for Switch, which is a 2-pack of Azure Striker Gunvolt 1 and 2. So you can play both of them on the Switch. And both of those are 3DS titles. Yep. We also have School War, Become a VR Anime Girl for PC. This is a thing. And also, Who's Your Santa for PC. Well. On the 1st of September, we have Songbringer for Xbox One and PC, White Noise 2 for Xbox One, and a nifty game for PC. Just a nifty game, nothing more. On the 5th, we have Don't Knock Twice for Xbox One and PC, Knack 2 for PlayStation 4. How the fuck did this get a sequel? Do you remember Knack?
No, I can't say that I do.
Exactly! It was some character platformer game that didn't really go over that well, I thought. And it's getting a sequel? When? How? Well, we also got Songbringer for PlayStation 4, Utuwaru Mono Masca Truth for PlayStation 4 and Vita, Lego Worlds for Switch, and RBI Baseball 17 for Switch. On the 6th, Destiny 2 arrives on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and GameFAQs told me it was on PC, but I said, bullshit, it comes out later on PC. I was able to fact check that one because I knew better. Yay, I think it comes out like 2 months later on PC. I'll probably be spending a lot of time on Broman and crew on Destiny 2, especially if the raid is real soon, because they're the raid team I watch. On the 7th, we have Warfight for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC, and please knock on my door for PC.
I'd prefer you didn't.
But please.
No.
Well, on the 8th, we have Drive Girls for Vita and Monster Hunter Stories for Switch. You know, that one game, that one Monster Hunter game that has amiibos attached to it? And I think I might have... Oop, I listed the wrong console. That's for 3DS, not for Switch. Why did I list that as Switch?
Because you did.
My bad. That's on the 3DS, not on the Switch. I will fix that after the show. So it'll be up to date when people look at this. But yeah, no, that's on the 3DS. It's finally coming into America. I'm curious about this, only because this sounds like a dumb idea. And usually dumb ideas turn out well. Sometimes.
I wouldn't say usually.
Well, when it involves Pokemon, not for us. Because that usually involves a Nuzlocke, and that never went well. I was reminded because I've been watching a best of Nuzlocke run for someone. I was just like, maybe we should try a co-op Pokemon run that's not a Nuzlocke, but we have our own rules for it.
I'd be up for that.
Because I was thinking, all right, it would be a randomizer run.
Obviously.
We get to pick our starters, but the starter must be a 3-stage evolution in the game we pick. We can't overlevel past the best Pokemon of a gym. And to throw in a twist, we cannot catch. We can only catch one Pokemon per route until we beat the gym, or beat the gym, the next gym. Trying to think of how to word that. Essentially, like for like Route 1, Route 2, Viridian Forest. Is that before Pewter City?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Route 1, Route 2, Viridian Forest, Route 23, I think. Essentially the route to Victory Road. We're only allowed to catch one Pokemon from there until we beat Brock. And then the next set of routes, we're only allowed to catch one Pokemon until we beat Misty. But once we beat them, we can catch how many Pokemon we want from there. Doesn't have to be the first. We can only catch one. And you have to use your starter the whole time. You cannot swap out. So you better pick a really good starter, because you're stuck with him the whole run. I've made this too complicated, haven't I?
I don't know.
I mean, it's not a Nuzlocke because it, like, if your Pokemon faint, oh well, try again. So it doesn't have that, like, extra, like, fuck you difficulty. But it also has the, hey, like, you can only, like, you have to pick and choose your Pokemon for the next fight, and you can't level too far up. And you're stuck with your starter. But you get to pick your starter, but it has to be 3-stage. So you can't pick him like a legendary. And you can pick Pikachu, but you have to pick Pichu first. Because that counts.
Which I would do anyhow.
It's like, you can have a Pikachu, but you gotta start with the Pichu. Or, like, you can pick, like, a Chansey, but you gotta start with, like, Happiny. And go to Blissey. So the extra challenge there of going, all right. Yeah, it's something different than a Nuzlocke, since a lot of Pokemon runs are either standard Pokemon run or a Nuzlocke. I feel like this is kind of an in-between. It has the extra challenge, but it doesn't have the brutal difficulty of a Nuzlocke. That will just fuck your run up so hard on the slightest of errors. Which is kind of obnoxious for the player end of things.
I wonder, too, if we could maybe go a step further to kind of make it not quite a Nuzlocke, but make it a little more of a challenge. What if we did something like you can only revive a knocked out Pokemon by taking it to a Poke Center?
That would work.
Because, I mean, technically then if you white out, you wind up there anyhow.
Yeah.
And that would kind of limit the fact of, like, staying on the field for ever trying to get your Pokemon to where you want it.
Yeah. Plus, it means we can sell all our revives and max revives and just dump everything into the potions. And it will also make us go, yeah, we should probably use our potions.
Yep.
That'd be a good idea. It actually let me use all of the stuff I set up for the Nuzlocke runs we have on the video pad, because I think I still have the file for all that.
Probably.
And I think I still have the images for all of the Pokemon in Fire Red. So even if we did a randomizer, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can literally every single Pokemon if necessary in the video into things. Which is what I would suggest this be instead of a live stream. But anyway, shall we get to quick draws?
I guess we shall.
Mine is something that's kind of concerning, because I'm not sure what they're talking about, to be honest. But this will take a little explanation. Anyway, apparently, Kamen Rider Build is going to feature classic Kamen Rider elements that apparently have been absent from the franchise since the Showa era. In the site, Toei stated that they were told that Kamen Rider isn't even Kamen Rider anymore, but they argued that even if it doesn't have a look of a typical Kamen Rider, it still has the core elements of originating from the same point together with evil, and Kamen Rider Build is a series pushing out the Kamen Rider-ness. More of said classic Kamen Rider elements. Those who were experimented on say their memories is vague, but does this have a connection with Sento Kamen Rider Build's memory loss? Talk about augmented humans. Also revealed that Sento Kiryu, aka Kamen Rider Build, created his entire arsenal from scratch. And that's kind of it for the article. I want to say Tumblr had a little bit more on it, where they're just talking about like classic Kamen Rider elements were going to be making a big return in this series, which I raised an eyebrow at, because hasn't that been the entire point of Heisei Phase 2? Like, they've been there for Heisei Phase 2 the whole time. Like, every single one of them they talked about, I'm just like, yeah, that's in this series or that series. Like, hell, the whole, like, the main writer creating the entire arsenal, double.
Yeah.
Like, not the double driver, for instance, because that was made by Shroud, but like all of the gadgets outside of the Stag Beetle phone, Philip made. Hell, all of the Astro Switches were made by not Gentaro, but his friend in Forze. All of them, all 40 of them, were made by him to start with. So I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Like, Kamen Rider has been Kamen Rider since Double Onward. That was the whole point of Double Onward, is to get back to Rider's roots and do its own thing with its own twist on that. So I'm concerned that they're going to be pushing it too hard. They're going to try too hard to be classic Rider and forget to be their own thing, maybe? Or this is going to cause problems? I don't know. This just concerns me that they're pushing this idea that doesn't even exist. For me, at least. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm kind of at the point of I feel like they did good on X-Side until the end, and then they screwed that up. So I'm willing to see what they're gonna do different, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that's been the general that we both can say. There's been flaws, in the last few shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't I'm I don't know why. That's the big issue.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure why X8's had its problems at the end, because it's on one hand, I feel like they've been stalling to some extent, waiting for the end of the show, but on the other, I go, okay, X8's ending early for a Heisei Rider series at this point. Is all of this kind of installing stuff because they can't do what they wanted to do to start with to end the show, so they have had to rewrite the end of the show into this?
You know, I didn't think nothing about that, but that might be it, actually.
Yeah.
I
Because the thing is,
wonder if maybe perhaps the movie stuff was actually supposed to be a bigger part.
well, between Bill showing up in this week's episode, and him looking for X8 to get his essence, and then the movie where he does do this, and the movie I think explicitly states that it takes place a year after the end of the show, even if like it does go off the fact that Kronos didn't get his powers back and did a reset, like it still counts in continuity.
True.
So I don't know. It feels weird to me, at least. There's just, I almost wonder if the original plan was for Bill to go to the time change and then Bill start with the time change. Because I think it's in 2 months. The start time for superhero time is going to go into like an afternoon time. Like essentially it'd be debuting like right around when we do the start of the show on Central. Instead of like a few hours earlier. And I believe Ryder is going to lead off superhero time now instead of Sentai in terms of that pair. I think they're still being both going to be led off by Pretty Cure, I think. Like Pretty Cure is the start of the whole like block, but Ryder's going for Sentai now. So I don't know. I would think that they would want to do the time change to coincide with build. But instead we're getting build before the time change. So I have to wonder if a plan got changed in there somewhere about that.
Possibly.
But I will say, like, X8's not, like, terrible. I just
No.
feel like
But they are missing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately very clear.
Mm-hmm. Like, Paradox's whole face turn here at the end of the show wasn't as heavily focused upon as it should have been. Like, his whole fear of death was only touched on in, like, the first episode it was shown off in, and then the last episode where it was talked about. Wasn't really talked about in between. And that was a good 5 or 6 episodes in between where we didn't really get to see it.
Yeah.
And then Poppy is been super underutilized as a writer, and then she goes and makes a really good heroic sacrifice. Except we have this thing about female Kamen Riders in this franchise that they don't have the best track record, and then you go and kill one off that's been kind of underutilized the entire show. So it complicates what should be a really good death scene. And then I also have the question of, okay, why would she be gone forever? Because I'm not sure I believe she's gone forever. Especially if true ending is like the proper ending of the series, she's in the movie. And so is Paradox.
But wasn't that considered a VR world too?
Yes, but it's still them. Like they're both in the real world. and like Poppy gets transported to the VR world, but she's the only one who notices that they got transported to a different world. All of the other human characters don't know that they're in a VR world. And it's probably because Poppy is a bugster. And it's like, guys, something's not right here. Because you can't change my programming that easily. You need another bugster to do that.
Or at least a human with reprogramming abilities.
Yeah, that or it's Hawkeye from Avengers 2 of, I already did this brainwashing thing once. I ain't doing this shit again. Fuck you. Everyone else can get brainwashed and think something else is going on. I had my fill. But yeah, then there's that. There's the fact that like we took away Muteki for an episode, only to get it back in that same episode. And also, Cronus's reset powers lasted for an episode in relevance. Also, Kronos himself just feels like, why are you still the bad guy here? Why have we moved on to Gamdeus, who literally lasted an episode? Literally lasted an episode before he was literally thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
But at least X8 is ending better than Arc 5 is. Yes, I'll take my shot at Arc 5.
And
what
at least X8's ending better than Ghost.
Ghost and Decade. Because Decade didn't end well either.
True.
Like, the best ending Decade got came from its solo film, I feel like. Like, that was the best ending Decade could have gotten. And what we got between the show and the mangled mess that happened in Movie War 2010, that was not what was originally advertised, mind you. The commercial for Movie War 2010 shows a completely different movie than what we got in the final product. I don't know if I've shown you that commercial.
I don't know.
Of course, I don't know if you remember Decade's portion of Movie War 2010.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Tackle doesn't exist in that commercial. And also, there's 2 decades. Also, Narataki is not a part of Shocker. Like I said, it's a completely different movie than what we got. And I don't know what the fuck happened between when that commercial was put together and when the whole movie was put together. Those are 2 different things. But yeah, just as a note, folks, X8 ends today for me, at least. Because it's technically Saturday for me. I'll probably try to dig up the Raw whenever it airs, or after it airs. That's what I've been doing these days recently. Instead of catching it live, I usually just go look it up on Dailymotion and watch it, see how it goes.
I usually wait till the subs come out and then watch it.
Yeah, Kish Asian usually has it out like Sunday.
Yeah.
Whoever the hell subs it. I don't know who subs it because it's not Overtime and it's not any of the other regular groups.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, because there's no name attached to those subs.
Which is odd.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have a fight that's gonna top that level 1 fight. Because that was really good. That was really good, and I'm just like, oh my god. The level 1 suits had relevance at the end of the series, and it was justified.
Yeah. Like, that was what was great about it.
I couldn't believe that. I was just like, Ebu pulls out Mighty Action X, goes level 1, and goes to attack Gamdeus. like he does when he goes level 1, and I'm just like, oh my god.
And I love the fact that everyone was like, what the heck are you doing? Have you lost your mind?
And it's fucking Geru is the one that goes, oh, that evil genius! Of course! The only way to beat Game Deus now is to separate the virus from him, which only the level 1 suits can do to start with. Of course! Why didn't I think of this? My god.
Yeah, for someone who boasts being a god, he doesn't think things through.
Nope. And I love how much everyone is no-selling the fuck out of him these days. Because I think it's the same episode where he has that monologue at the beginning of the episode, and he's just like, Kuroto's like, I am Dan Kuroto God. And everyone's like, hi, moving on. Wait, no, it was last episode, because that was the Mighty Doctor Double X episode. Everyone just is like, yep, sure you are. Move. We got better shit to do, okay? We're not listening to you. Also, build kills fucking Kim, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love how he apologizes too.
I love the whole, oh, you're not excited. Well, I'm sorry.
Bye now. I gotta go find XA.
Off to go get the person that I was actually here to get.
Yep. And I gotta wait a whole year to do that in a movie too. Anyway, tell me, what is your quick draw before you continue that talk about X84?
Apparently, this is the first that I've heard of it, but apparently Monster Hunter XX is having a Breath of the Wild collaboration beginning of the month. I'm curious because I mean, obviously the trailer's in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if this is like something exclusive for them, or if it's just going to be for everyone. And
well, this game's not coming stateside as far as we know.
But at the same time, all the game stuff is not region locked.
The Switch isn't region locked, is it?
Nope.
I forgot about that part. So you can still play Monster Hunter Double X. You just might need a translation guide.
Yep.
Which wouldn't be the first Monster Hunter game you've had to do that for. Because I think one of the PSP ones you had to do that for.
So, yeah, that's kind of making me wonder.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a trailer. I haven't looked at the trailer either, so I guess I'll boot it up and let it be playing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. This isn't the first time Legend of Zelda's done a collab with Monster Hunter.
Probably not.
I know it's done a collab with Mario and Luigi, because the little cat assistants, you can get a Mario and Luigi costume for them in one of the 3DS titles. But like, also Monster Hunter does like collabs with everyone. So I'm not like super surprised, but it's still pretty cool. And when they do a collab, yeah, they go for everything, because that is a very, very accurate like default clothing for Link.
Yeah.
I think that's even a special bow that's based off like what Sheik Attack is the aesthetic of it.
Looks like it.
And of course, the cat is a fucking that thing that I can't even think of the name of.
Korok.
Oh wow, you even get the regular hero's
Yeah.
tunic and master and the piloting shield, and I assume the master sword. That's probably the other Zelda collab. So I'm gonna roll back the trailer to that one shot that showed us everything. Oh wow, there's a cat dressed up as Toon Link.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And we get
A master sword?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and at least say Twilight Princess Link.
It's a little bright. It might be classic. It's a little bright for Twilight Princess.
Could be lighting too.
Mm-hmm.
It's at least the base Link model.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of interested in that now.
Yeah. And to think, if Monster Hunter is willing to do all these collabs for Nintendo properties, what are they gonna do for Monster Hunter World on the PlayStation 4?
Seriously.
And that's the proper one we're supposed to be getting in, or proper one we are getting in the US. I've kind of been wanting to try out a Monster Hunter game, but well, I've never really had a good Monster Hunter game on a console till now, really. Besides the Wii U one, I think. But that might be too old at this point.
Might be. But yeah, that was kind of mine. I just little shout out to that because it came up on Tumblr and I was like, interesting.
Mm. Oh, I don't think anyone's subbed the new superhero Tyson film, as far as I know.
Can you blame them?
Nope.
There's only a matter of times that you can get fooled into thinking something was good before you just quit caring.
Yeah. Yeah, I have really zero interest in watching it, besides maybe seeing what the hell this plot is to start with, and maybe finding out who the fuck this other hero is that's True Brave, that his armor got repurposed in the Tattle Legacy. Because that's where that white Tattle Fantasy armor came from, was this movie in True Brave. Just the white armor portion, not the rest of the undersuit. Because I'm not sure why Hero's the only one that gets to go past 50. Which makes the whole fact that him and Taiga have the Gasak gear betas kind of meaningless.
True.
Because it's like, if you're going to give them both betas, why did you give Hero an upgrade? That makes that the literally makes his Gasak gear beta useless, because it's the exact same armor and power set, I think, just at a higher level. Because I think he can still do all the magic stuff he can do with fantasy, I think. I will say, I'm hopeful for Figure Arts because we just got Perfect Knockout revealed. So we can't be too far away from official information on Maximum EX, since we've gotten that shown off. And then Hyper and Buteki, and then hopefully at least Poppy. I think I can live without having Nico. I think if I want a Nico, I can go get the Soto Gashapon figure. But I would at least like a Poppy in Figure Art. Still waiting on Laser to get something besides his level 2 form and his level 5 form. His proper level 3 form. Or maybe Laser Turbo? I'm not sure which one I would get at that point if both came out. Because I'm not sure how to count Laser at this point. Because it's like, all right.
That is kind of one of those, how do you?
Yeah, because on one hand, you can count Laser Turbo as his final form. Since it's his highest level form, and it's the form he takes all of the time towards the end of the series. On the other hand, he never goes to anything besides Laser Turbo when he comes back into the series. The only thing he does is attach armor onto Laser Turbo. The only times he drops down lower is to go level 1. And considering... Actually, no, because... Damn it, is it the same gas hat? Because I'm not sure now.
That's a good question.
Because based on one episode, it is, but based on another episode, it isn't.
I honestly don't know.
I think I might make it simple for myself and go, I'm going to count it as a suit swap, like Shin Zangetsu, and just get Laser Turbo and make it simple for myself. Because it's not like he got to use Gary and Chambara
True.
Before he was summarily killed off. Don't think I'm going to get Gim at all, since he's pretty much a bad guy the whole series, and I don't get the bad guys. Unless I get a whole new cabinet and a whole new shelf for all bad guys.
But he's not bad guy. He's God.
He's a really terrible God, then.
Yes.
Really, really terrible. Definitely not going to get Paradox since he was pretty much bad guy the whole series. Even though he's technically a good guy because he's one half of Mighty Brothers Double X, which I'm still confused on how the fuck that works.
So are they. So are they.
Like, the thing is, Paradox has fought both parts of Mighty Brothers Double X. So, how does that work?
They don't know.
That is going to be a plot hole that is probably never going to be explained in this show, unfortunately.
I don't know. There's still got to be a way for Emu to become X8 again.
Yeah. And the last time we went, oh, we killed Paradox, so he can't come back. Emu literally just popped out Mighty Brothers Double X and brought him back.
Yep.
Which makes me go, okay, look. Brave still has his Doremi beat gas hat. I'm sure Poppy can be resurrected. Because all of the damn Bucksters can be resurrected except Lavrika. Because that's how they work. I do not doubt Poppy can come back. Because I'm pretty sure she'll be back for last episode. And so will Paradox. But I will say this. If Paradox comes back and Poppy doesn't, you're getting points off show. Because fuck you. They died the same way. That means they both come back. You bring them back, you got to bring both back. This is how this works.
Actually, I wonder on something, though. Okay. Essentially, Paradox kind of self-exploded to take out Gemdas.
Right, but he did it using the mighty Dr. Double X gas hat. Just like Poppy.
A driver.
Okay.
There is a slight difference there. He didn't physically inject it into himself.
but he glowed the exact same way Poppy did. So it has an almost similar effect.
I'm curious on how they're going to pull this out. Because, the first time when Paradox died, Emu was actually holding him, and that's how they could write it off. He absorbed him.
Mm-hmm.
This time they didn't get that chance.
I don't know.
This time it's possible that they both are just completely dead.
That would really throw in the question why we have a 1 year later, the true ending movie that could still be counted as continuity, especially with Bill's cameo in this movie directly referencing that.
To this, I'm going to say, does anything have to have continuity?
With Toei, no.
Exactly.
Anyway, we should probably end off. It's like almost 1 o'clock. For me, at least. Won't be that way starting tomorrow, because I'll be back in Central Time Zone for college. Yay.
Well, then it's almost 12 o'clock for you.
Yep. But we'll be back in 2 weeks with more news discussion stuff. I'll probably have an opinion on Mario plus Rabbids based off reviews and stuff. I'll probably have watched the whole game played through by then. At least all the cutscenes to see how that story plays out. It'll probably be super dumb. And Destiny 2 will be out, so I have an opinion on that. Oh, and Death Note Netflix is god awful. Good to know. I figured it would be. I think my nephew wanted to watch that for some stupid dumb reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we'll be back there, and in a week we'll be back with Rampant Gaming. Something that probably isn't Mario multiplayer, because we're out of Mario multiplayer games. Or modded Mario games modded to have multiplayer.
Yes, that.
Yeah. Because I don't think anyone's tried Galaxy.
I don't think I would try Galaxy after what we had a hard time with on Sunshine.
Yeah, considering we broke it before we even got started, yeah.
I still don't know how.
I don't either, because I had no issues on my end when I tried it solo.
And I had no issues on my end when I tried it solo. It's when we tried it together that it just said nope.
Anyway, for Tommy, I'm Peace. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.